everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Gold Rush, part 13 of our Weird West 4th Edition campaign. Today is July 1st, 2024, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fantastic folks, feel free to join us again at patreon.com/indooradventures. But let's say you already support us on Patreon. You already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Well, guess what, Acorns? I got your back, quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, we even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where proceeds of our merch currently goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, RJ, who you playing today?
It's me? Normally, I thought, oh, that's probably the after. Hey everybody, I'm RJ. I'm playing Kid. He goes by he, they, I go by he, him. I'm confused.
You've gone first every time for 6 years.
Yes. Hello, I'm LBHackEmUp. I play Trisannas, aka Tris, the Wild Inn Seeker. I go by she, her. She goes by she, any.
Boy, I'm Cyber. I use he and any % pronouns. That is right. I am on a speed run to get all the pronouns. It's Game Dun's Quick Week, so there you go. They're also supporting Doctors Without Borders. Hell yeah. I play Rakel. Rakel is a human shaman. She, her.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight, yes, you'll be playing as Carruthers Edelweiss, also known as Ruth to his friends. Uses he, him pronouns and is a human ranger.
And that just leaves me, folks. Hi, I'm Wings, also known as Danae. It's been 6 years. I'm snacking on some grapes, but that's not going to stop me from going into the recap. All right, last time, having defeated the crab-like guardians of the Wayward Son's hidden treasure, the posse settled in to recover from their fight and gather their spoils. Sparky revealed that he's Six Spurs. He claimed that he didn't remember the events leading up to his death, only that he had a message to deliver, and the next thing he knew, he was slain by the Wayward Sons and came back wrong. Rakel began reassembling the headless horse and discovered that Sparky was the missing piece, meaning that he was a centaur. Before accepting his reunion, Sparky asked each member of the posse what their purpose was going after the deputies and warned them that continuing would only bring them disappointment. He then reclaimed his horse half and betrayed the posse, attempting to fight them for their own gold. They defeated him handily. At the end, he tried to warn them of something he suddenly remembered, but he burst into gold before finishing the thought. Now, I remember at the end of last session, I told y'all that you didn't get any additional gold due to a clerical error. Due to another clerical error, actually, yes, you do get a ton more gold.
Give us the number, gold man.
It's 5,240 gold.
Divided up 4 ways is 1,310 gold a pop. Unless we want to do it
like a
5 ways for Morbeck, so we can get Morbeck some treats. Okay, Morbeck's good.
So, between this week and next, y'all might want to go shopping for some magic items and let me know so that I can
On it.
slip them under the table. The Roll20 table, if you will.
Scroll of Summon to Wrath.
That's almost double the amount of gold that I had. I had 500 and now I have 1800.
Yeah,
This
funny.
is
Funny that.
quadruple. How's
Uh,
one?
Danae.
Yes.
We can solve this later, but I had mentioned that Triss sends the gold back to her group, to
Okay.
her grove, but she transforms it into something that is mundane looking, and like via gold, like making it something so that it is safe to travel back, because her like going back is gonna be. But if we're going there anyways, it doesn't matter. But that's
I
a thought.
love the character decision of this.
Mhm.
As your GM, because I love you, I'm gonna recommend against that
Okay.
because this game is built with the assumption that you will have magic items and you will have more of them through like as you level. Like
Mhm.
the numbers will start to turn against you if you do not
Okay.
have magic items on you, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I love that character choice.
Okay.
More more to be discussed later. Regardless, story-wise, you find yourselves being showered in centaur gold as these elemental horses that have been trouncing, trampling, spinning, storming around you, slowly come to a stop. And then they begin to meander peacefully across the plains.
Can I put a spin on that?
Um, okay, yes. Sorry. I was gonna try and make a joke about the fact that you want to put a spin on a tornado, but like no, you go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear what you were gonna say.
Down under, it spins in reverse. I don't know. As the tornado is like spinning around us, Kid pulls out his pistol, loads a bullet into it, flips it upward, and fires one shot into the air to disperse the horses. And when he
Mm-hmm.
pulls the bullet casing out and throws it over the shoulder, it reads Six Spurs along the bullet.
Nice. That falls to the ground with a jingle similar to Six Spurs' own spurs. And the horses disperse, and you are left out in the plains lands with naught but the sagebrush, the very invasive tumbleweeds, and the distant sound of what might be waves. It's gone now.
All right, before anyone asks, that was a dick move on his part.
Yes, I'm quite confused as to. I suppose I'm not. I've met many humanoids like that. Suddenly just turn on you.
I don't know his reasoning per se. But again, not everyone really does the whole heel turn thing.
Mhm.
I don't think it's as difficult. I don't think it's the same brain that you're thinking about. I don't know how else to describe it. What he said was that when he died, he didn't come back right. But what he came back as, that's who we knew. As soon as he became whole, he became who he was all along. It wasn't a heel turn. If anything, the heel turn was who we met.
It was a hoof turn.
This guy gets it.
A phantom horse kicks Kid in the chest, dealing 30 damage.
What I'm saying
Well.
is, the Roves, I wouldn't put past trying to suddenly declare, oh, you injured few, I'm gonna trample you and take all your money.
Alright, but if the next son of a gun is like this, hospitable, philanthropic sort of entity that is beloved by his town, and we have to go and like kill him.
Just saying. Look, Miss Sissy may have been hospitable to the town when she was killing people.
No, I mean like endeared to their population.
Oh, then, we just do a standard holdup. You get rid of the bounty by taking all their money. Or or you demand at that moment that they invest their money in the city.
Ruth. All right. We'll talk about it when we get to town. But first, how the hell are we getting down from up here?
Where is up? Oh, yeah, we're on like a
We're on,
high
like-
up ledge.
Yeah, we're like on a shelf.
Oh,
let's see.
easy. Magic up a paraglider. Like, just
We got
like,
a lot of gold to work with right now.
yeah, we got a shit ton of money. Why not just like make a parachute or like a grapple, like some guy? It's not that hard. We have magic.
We make a Chinook helicopter.
I use the barrel I crafted.
To make a rocket leg, and we build a mecha.
Yeah. Oh, now you're getting it. Now you're thinking with portals.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna law us up some rope so we can like shimmy down this fucking cliff.
Yeah, that totally
Uh,
works.
Triss takes out her camera and takes a picture of like the landscape, I guess.
Okay.
Fresh air.
Yeah, Ruth is like, he'll gold up like a large piton or baton so that way they have like an anchor point at the top or like something akin to that.
Okay.
He'll help
Um,
kid.
Y'all are focused on getting yourselves down off of this cliffside, this plateau. Rakel, being that you have the highest passive perception, I'm gonna say that you're the one who sees this. You have like this overwhelming sense of being watched. That kind of prickle on the back of your neck of having two forward-facing eyes on you. And I think your head goes on a swivel for a sec when you see a figure standing on a distant butte. And it's got a poncho on that's just sort of like blowing in the breeze, like a flag. And that's what catches your attention. And it appears to be watching.
Oh, this time you was the bottom half of a man. Fuck.
What?
Yeah, she's still hung up on the fact that the horse that she's been chasing all this time was the bottom half of a dick.
I see. Okay.
Raquel has her own hangups going on.
That's totally fair. Everyone's got some processing to do. Thank you for this gift, Morticia. I will cherish it always.
There goes.
So,
How far away is this butte?
Quite some distance, like over 100 feet.
Okay, I'll just clock it and continue to find my own way down.
All right. She didn't see where it went, and now my heart is breaking. Okay. Y'all make it down. What's your next move from here?
Do I still see the person?
Yeah, by the time you get down, that person's gone.
Okay.
But they were absolutely watching you.
We can take cover under here, underneath the shelf for tonight if we wanna. The fuck was that? Sorry, I heard a scream from outside. Welcome to Brooklyn. Anyway,
Well,
we could take shelter here.
what's next?
We could head back to town real quick and resupply, and
probably tell people that we put an end to the sentient cyclone that's been ravaging the town for the last 20
Yes.
years. I mean, they'll find that out themselves when it doesn't show up, but, like, I feel like you, motions to Kid, would want to take credit for that of some sort or degree.
I think it would be real fucking funny, though, if the storm just never comes back and they're just wondering.
I wonder whatever happened to that thing.
Well, are we?
Oh,
Are
right.
we still like wanted? Like, are people still looking for you, Kid?
I mean, nah.
All right.
Go.
At least I don't think so.
Well,
Are you still wanted?
Dead or alive.
Yes, we still have wanted posters, but like, is the town still like Assassin's Creed full of red dots?
I assumed that you were talking about Deputy Hawthorne and Sheriff Hall, like those folks,
And the Dust Devils,
the lawmen. I think you kind of had a tentative alliance with the Dust Devils, who had taken out Hall's men. They had stormed his mansion. So Hall has basically been neutralized as a threat. If the Dust Devils choose to pursue Kid, they're probably pursuing all of you. So I'm not going to say that you're not in danger, but I will say that the threat that you're referring to has been neutralized.
I'd be down to take a rest. I don't know about the lot of you, but I am feeling rightly tuckered.
Yes, I'm feeling low on stamina at the moment as well.
Sparky kicked me in the shin on his way past me, the bastard.
Well, let's take a moment. We'll take a rest here and...
What you get for having shins.
Yeah.
You could say I'm a shinful bastard.
What?
No, what? No? That was RJ. That was RJ, not Kid. Kid would never say something that stupid.
Bet.
Wouldn't he, though?
Nah, he would say something that stupid. We set up watches for the night.
Yeah. Did Rakel tell us that somebody was watching?
Nope.
Okay.
I'll take a first watch.
Take a second.
Hey, look out for like, I don't know. Somebody was in like a poncho on that other rock over there while we were getting down and looking at us. I don't know.
Was the person looking at you followed by the sound of a train?
What?
It's a serious question. Not crazy.
I'm trying to remember what the sound of a train is.
It's like a choo choo,
Like,
or like a chugga 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 chugga, like that kind of noise, but like more mechanical and bassy. Sometimes it hisses like a big old snake.
No, I don't think any of those sounds came up.
Cool.
All right, well, probably nothing then.
God's bless you, Ruthie.
You never know what you find in the ramble.
God's bless your sweetheart.
All right. There's typically it's a number. Is there typically 2 watches in the night, or is there 3?
Typically, it's if you want everybody to get quality rest, but have like optimized watches, you do 3 or 2, but you typically will double up on 2. But for spacing out purposes, 3 is generally the optimal number.
Okay. Are we doing 2 watches tonight or 3?
We can do 2 watches.
Yeah.
If we have any conversation peeps want to have.
Okay.
I'll watch with Ruth.
You got it.
Okay. I would like the 2 of you to give me perception checks.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
I have a +9. I got a 13.
Amazing.
I got 21.
Trias got a 21.
Plus
That ain't a
6.
that ain't a bad number in this here edition. Is there any pertinent conversations that the two of you have during this rest?
I think maybe Triss will. What is she doing? Maybe she's sewing something with her time.
Developing your film now that it's dark.
Oh, I guess that's fair. Yeah. Like she's under a blanket basically. And she kind of pops her head out. Has to fix her hair on her antlers. And she. Now, as you were saying earlier, the man that we saw with the metal legs was not, I understand, was not a full person, but when he became a full person, that's when he became evil.
So, imagine, how do I put this in a way that makes sense? Say you had a circle, and that circle, for what you knew, was evil. It was a bad circle. Big old angry. And then that circle, for whatever reason, had a small chunk of it break off.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's still big evil. The smaller circle, it could be some sort of good. A lot of philosophies and ideas believe that even bad things can have tiny bits of good in them, and good things can have tiny bits of bad in them, and it's harmony and all sorts of things. Now, that being said, Six Spurs was the big evil, but there was that tiny little bit of good in him. That was Sparky, a.k.a. Whiplash, a.k.a. whatever he decided he wanted to be. Now, when he died and came back, as you want to do because of gold, after the Wayward Sons apparently took him down, all that remained after he severed was the good half, and then his evil. But his evil was bigger than the good. So when they eventually rejoined and he became Six Spurs whole, that good part could have still been in there. But it was that big evil that compelled him to act in the way that he was, because some people call it a dominant personality.
I understand. Thank you.
At least that's my understanding of it. Other than that, maybe he was just an asshole. It's a simpler explanation, and honestly, Kid was ready to give him all of his money. Which didn't make sense, like, logistically, because I feel like Kid worked really hard for all of that money that he had just got. Like, that was, like, he killed a man over that. Killed several men over that, and then immediately, as soon as a horseman was like, I'm one of the rogues, he was like, oh, okay, here you go. Here's like $20 or something. Like, there was a less of a fight than I was prepared for, but then we killed him anyways.
There is a shift of movement as Kid turns around to look Ruth dead in the eye. Ruthie, sometimes you wake up and ask yourself, what kind of bullshit you're ready to deal with today? I was not ready for that.
And you aren't ready for a day full of bullshit. Now get some rest.
Turns back in his sleeping bag and cuddles in.
Now, Mr. Ruth, I've been out in this world for quite some time now, and I've met plenty of types of people. Most of them are, well, as you put, not so great, evil, in fact. What made you be so good? As someone down on their luck, as we found you at the beginning, most people would turn to a life of crime or have hatred in their heart.
I don't got time for hatred, and I don't have the mentality for crime. There was a war long time ago. And as a kid, myself, I believed in something greater. I put a lot of my self-worth and a lot of how I acted into a cog of a bigger machine. And when that fell apart, I realized I didn't have anything left. And there are a lot of people who say once you hit rock bottom, you ain't got nothing left to lose. And this is more of a glass half empty, I suppose, but when you hit rock bottom, you have everything to gain. I didn't like who I was. There are people who taught me that I could change, that I could be better. So here before you today, a changed man who bathes regularly.
Well, I can understand that. I think my travels with this group has changed me in a way as well.
I would say so. You seem like you've come to appreciate or care for, possibly, this ragtag group of ramblers.
Now, let's not get out of hand here.
Well, I would never.
But I've just found in my life that the way I was before, people tended to not enjoy my company as much. So perhaps I have changed more than I think.
Well, that depends. Are you changed in a way that you feel good about, or are you changed in a way that you think others will feel good about?
An interesting question, but I don't think the change has been for the worse. I find myself coming to care for you all in more of a physical role, being there for you and trying to keep your opinions and hearts in my mind when I am behaving. I think that's a good thing.
I should say so. Which gives me a follow-up question. When we set out on this journey, you had stated that you were looking to acquire quite a bit of funds by means of taking out the biggest players on the board, being the Compass Rogues. We are 2 for 2 of the rogues that we have come up against. And that means that there's still 2 left. And then, potentially, Goldtooth Joe himself. There is a way that you could make an honest living. It wouldn't get you the amount of gold that you'd have at the end of all of this, sure, but it would give you peace of mind, and you can't really put a price too big on that. When all is said and done, will you be able to tell me that you made the right choice?
Mr. Ruth, I have no qualms with what we are doing. Death is just the next step of life. I think helping people move on, whether it's in this aspect or others, I have no qualms with being the one to usher them on. And though I would like to say that I am simply in it for the money, and the killing is a necessary pact that we must take. But I do feel like I want to look after you and the rest. And I think that me being here is better than me not. So I don't think I have any regrets, especially if it reminds me what humanoids can actually be like. I would rather be facing death with you three than milling about with the general population any day.
That is a state of mind we can both agree on. Just has like
It's
a little cough.
attention time now. I apologize.
That's okay. As soon as he got in your arms, he just full noodle.
Yeah. This is how he likes to hang out. One
he's
arm
like a
down,
baby
one
that-
arm up.
It's like a baby that needs to be burped.
Mm-hmm.
Bless.
She'll give you a nod and go back to her sewing.
Yeah, the old. Just keep giving the old 1,000-yard out to the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Whilst you're keeping watch, Triss, you specifically hear the snapping of a twig.
My people.
And you probably wouldn't pay attention to it, except for the fact that it distinctly came from upwind of you, which is an advantageous place for a predator to approach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or I suppose downwind. It would be downwind of you.
Yes, yeah. Did it seem close or far off? Like close enough
Medium?
that should I get up and look for it, or
It far enough that it would take you out of the light of the campfire to pursue it. Like, it's not super far, like not far enough that it doesn't feel like a threat, but not close enough that it would be easy to pursue.
Like imminent threat.
Yeah.
She brings it to you every week. Do I sense any spirits in the area that I could talk to?
Oh, good question. Any ghosts in the area to talk to? Probably
Are there
yes.
any spirits that want to speak to us tonight?
This is the Squall Lands. It's very likely that many have met their end out here. It's just a question as to whether or not they would become ghosts. Ghosts.
Ghosts.
Give me a nature check, and we'll let the dice decide.
Yay! 23.
Okay. Tell me 2 facts about the ghosts that you find.
They are. I don't know how gross I should get with this. I was gonna say they're disemboweled. And they are a little confused. They're perpetually disoriented because they are
been swirled around
in a swirled around for.
Do they have
for
like
as
the
long as they've been dead.
comical horseshoe prints on them?
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Not disemboweled, just horseshoe prints all over. They're a little flat.
They're a little flat. We'll go with that. Okay. This poor guy. He's got vertigo because he's all twirly. Let's give him like swirly glasses too. I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I know where I am.
Oh, sweetie. You have passed on to the afterlife. I believe from your appearance you have been trampled by the squall, which is gone now.
There's a moment where Ruth is looking at his hands when Triss is like, "You have passed on." He's like, "What? Oh,
What?
yeah. I'm talking to a ghost. Oh, thank God."
Thank God. Thank God. Oh, damn it.
Oh, thank goodness. I've been twirling around for who knows how long, and I got a
Mm.
serious case of vertigo.
That is quite understandable. You know what would be a good idea, if I may suggest? You might want to take a walk in as straight a line as you can make. Might I suggest that direction? And she points downwind. And see if you can go down there about 200 yards and walk back and try to find something out there that you can really latch on to. Maybe a being or something.
Well, that just sounds like a great idea, doesn't it? Actually, I should make you roll for this. Give me a persuasion.
Okay.
Sure thing, nice lady.
Persuasion's not a thing.
Oh my god, diplomacy. Diplomacy
That's right.
is the word.
Oh boy. Oh, 13.
13. Okay, that just sounds like a great idea. I'll just put one foot in front of the other, and then he kind of like stumbles a little bit, and you see him like start to like veer off in the wrong direction. I'll just keep on walking, and I don't know.
Oh, less
He
that
becomes
so.
As it becomes more and more distant, you realize that guy's not coming back.
She like places a hand on Ruth's leg for a moment. She says, "Some souls are just lost."
Okay.
Yeah.
She doesn't explain.
Oh, Ruth, one day you'll die.
I hope when I pass on, somebody can talk to me. But I understand that is rare. Ruth, when you die, I promise that I will show you the way.
Yeah. I mean, I'd appreciate it, but also maybe fantasize about my death a little less.
My apologies. I wasn't fantasizing about it. It is an inevitability, so I was just speaking
Would you
of it.
say that to Kid? It's because I'm old, isn't it?
No. Oh, darling, no. I just thought that you might be
Pass
at the
on
point
soon?
in your be at the
myself
point in your
out?
life where you could accept that that is a possibility coming up to you.
I will never die.
Of course, Mr. Ruth, of course.
Death
And you
wouldn't
hear her
have me
actually
anyways.
chuckle. Well, no, I suppose I couldn't speak to you after you died anyways. You are a user of gold. You would just
simply explode.
and then come back, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
Perhaps. Is there anything you'd like me to spend your coin on?
Before I die, hopefully, I will be in a nice chair with my feet in the sand, looking at the biggest sapphire in the world. And when that moment happens, I want nothing, nothing else. There will be no gold to spend on anything, because I'll have already spent it or given it away. And if not, feel free to redistribute it amongst yourselves. You can have it all.
Right, I was more mentioning the fact that you will explode into gold.
Yeah, just take it.
Right.
Use it as you will.
When...
penny candy, and buy as many sweets as you want with it.
Right. When I die, please send my treasure back to my people.
You're not gonna die.
Well, I'm gonna die at some point.
And you want to die with us three?
Ideally, not anytime soon, but it is a possibility and an inevitability down the line.
Well, if that ends up being the case, I will honor your wishes to the best of my ability. Do I just write The Grove on a parcel?
Oh, perhaps we'll be passing by there and I can show you where they are.
Oh, they're coming up.
I think so. That or the circus. I'm not actually quite sure.
I feel like, surprisingly, a traveling circus is harder to nail down.
Yeah, don't give them any of my gold. They are
No.
not. No.
No, I wouldn't.
Perhaps Jacob. No, my people. And I'm sorry. I distracted you from your watch. And she starts. Oh, I heard a thing. There was a snap in the brush. That way. That's why I tried to send. I forgot. LB forgot.
Speaking of a snap in the brush, Rakel, there is a distinct snap in the bushes that startles you awake.
Eyes up, what do I see?
Eyes up, what do you see? Well, first of all, it's dark, the fire is out, and nobody is in their beds.
Morbeck. If I get Morbeck out. And he looks around. Can he see anything that I can't?
You summon Morbeck, and he looks around, and he peers into the bushes and begins growling.
Yeah, I'll get up. I will also go over there, spear in hand.
Okay. You creep over, spear in hand, and you push the branches aside, just in time to see a man, wearing a white cowboy hat, scrambling through the dirt, like desperately running for his life. He looks over his shoulder. You recognize him as Deputy Hawthorne, the man that you had killed, and he had come back and warned Hall that you were in town. There is a sharp 3 or 4 blasts of a gun, and he falls to the ground.
Where'd the gunshot come from?
Well, it came from that person over there with a poncho who comes walking forward, doesn't seem to notice you, and kneels next to Deputy Hawthorne, and starts muttering something under their breath.
What'd they say?
It's quiet, and it doesn't seem to be in a language you recognize.
Damn it.
Actually, give me a perception check.
That many.
Ooh. Sick.
28.
Okay. You do hear this. It is in a language you don't recognize. It goes on for a little while. But you hear the words clearly enough that you think that you could replicate them later down the line. And they touch first on his head, then on his chest, and then on his stomach. And then they wave their hand. And there has been no color thus far. And you hadn't noticed it until now, because there is almost a tongue of flame that sort of erupts in a line up his spine. And as he burns, it's not quite the right word. It's almost like he's melting. His body kind of falls apart, not into gold coins, but into almost a sand. He's dusted.
I
And
sneeze.
the wind begins to pick him up and carry him away. And as he's being dispersed, you sneeze. And that person turns and looks over their shoulder. noticing your presence. And like there's a tense moment. I think Morabek starts to growl. And that person just takes a gloved hand and presses it to their lips. Shh. And you wake up.
I sneezed again.
Ruth and Trisannas, you were just discussing a snap that you heard in the bushes earlier. And suddenly Rakel sits up and then sneezes.
Oh, wait.
Yes,
Sorry.
it be.
I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go over to like where in the colorless place I saw
Mm-hmm.
I saw Hawthorne.
It's really disorienting because you come to realize that the place that you were in your dream was not the same place as here.
Oh, okay.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I just I don't know. Weird dreams, I guess. Um, it's about time for me to watch.
Sure.
All right.
You all right? Are you sure?
I think I'm allergic to gold.
Oh, well.
Or at least like the gold dust, the like pollen. It's like
Oh, I
ruining me
see.
up here.
Oh, darling. Well, I could put together a little herbal treat for you to try and help. Are you all right with tea?
Does it have gold in it?
No.
Then I'll probably be good with it.
Right. It should open up your sinuses a little bit so you are not having trouble. She goes into her bag and pulls out some leaves and starts crackling them into a cup and heats some water on the fire.
Does Raquel have adorable kitten-like sneezes? Or
No,
does
she has
she,
dad sneezes.
yeah, to
Oh,
frighten off
I see.
predators? Those
Yes.
kinds of sneezes? Okay.
Mhm.
So, kid, you definitely would have been awoken by Raquel sneezing.
Horse tornadoes are back.
Mm. No, that was just a sneeze.
Oh, all right. Ruthie, keep it down, man.
I would like to point out Ruth is like, I was planning on investigating the cracked branch and like,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, you
yeah,
can do
so
that if
like,
you like.
so like using the distraction of Raquel sneezing, Ruth would have been like, doo doo, like,
I don't believe we
check
have
in.
survival in fourth edition. You can either roll perception or nature, whichever works best for you.
Why is this the survival of the city, but not the land?
Perception
Oh,
is
shit.
28.
28. Love to see
Stop
it.
copying me.
You creep about, and you find a set of footprints in the ground, that indicate to you, as a sort of an outdoorsman, um, it indicates to you that someone was being followed,
Hmm.
and you follow like these two sets of footprints, to what appears to be a put out campfire. Um, and there is a spot on the ground that you could swear looks like a place that somebody laid down in the dirt. But there's no one here and it's empty. And it whatever way that they fell down, like there's just like the perfect silhouette of a person there. Like it looked like they fell. It did not look like that they got up.
Gotcha. Is the campfire
Like-
warm?
Yes. It's warm, but all of the coals have been put out,
Yeah.
like dirt kicked over it and everything. Like this spot on the ground, this like man-shaped like silhouette on the ground. You could almost draw in chalk around it and it would look like a crime scene, like where the body used to be.
I'm going to assume there was a body there, but I'm going to go back to my friends.
And while you're standing there, you have an innate sense for gold, right?
Yeah.
The gold concentration in the air, it's stronger here. It's not anything that you could gather up and make into
A
a
thing.
cohesive whole. But there is, in this world, there is gold in the air. Like, it is just everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it pervades being. It is what people call on in order to cast magic and stuff. It's stronger here.
Huh. All right. I will make a note.
Okay. Ruth, you begin to return back to camp. Rakel and Kid, it is about time for you guys to start your watch anyway when you wake up. After Rakel's dream. Is there anything that the three of you guys discuss while Ruth is gone?
Kid is slowly getting up for the watch. It's like, turns over, realizing what time it is, turns back, eyes are just still closed, but he's pushing himself off the ground, smells the tea, waddles over with a mug, waiting patiently.
She adds more leaves to it. I think after she serves up the tea, she'll go and Triss will go to the edge of the fire line and look out, try to see if she can have eyes on Ruth. Spots the ghosts in the distance, very far away from where she sent them, and she'll bless them.
You notice actually that the ghost that you sent off is now sort of walking in circles around the place where Ruth is, and then just sort of turning around and walking in opposite directions.
Some spirits just can't be helped.
Like a strong wind blows and it falls over.
Yeah. She'll just watch for Ruth to come back. Keep an eye on him.
During this time, Kid will review the wanted poster.
Ah, okay. Give me an Arcana check as you flip it to the next deputy.
29.
Ooh, very nice, very nice. All right. Let me just open up my notes. You see a wanted poster with a sharply dressed man, a golden pocket watch hanging from his breast coat, two shining lenses of those really round glasses worn down on the bottom of the nose, a very strong angular nose, sort of a widow's peak, and a rather severe expression. This person looks well, moneyed.
Well moneyed.
Well moneyed, and also a sort of a pointy beard situation. It's close cropped, but very tightly manicured, with lots of points from the mustache and points to the beard itself. Do all of this description, and I don't have the notes yet. The name is Baron Dexter von Ferrum. And his hoard is reported to be 8,680 gold.
May I make a history check on what I know about Dexter or Baron Dexter Ferrum?
Yeah, absolutely. There is also some information that is just sort of baked into the wanted poster, but it would be interesting to compare notes as to what is being shared with you and what you already know.
19.
19 on the history check. Okay. Um, I'm going to start with what the wanted poster tells you. And then I'll let you know what you remember specifically. Um, the wanted poster tells you that Baron von Ferrum was responsible for financing the construction of rails across the Ramble. Um,
Ferrum like Ferris, like the iron. Got it.
Indeed. I'm pretty sure I named him Dexter. Is that what I named him? I have split up my notes across so many different sources. They have ceased to be useful.
Ferris like the Bueller. Got it.
Ah,
He's had big days.
Bueller, Bueller, Bueller.
It's not fucking here.
Really.
Kid
Yeah.
is currently just sipping tea and reading this like the morning paper.
Barum Dexter Vea Ferrum the Third. Sorry, there was so much more to that.
I ain't writing
Um,
all that down on a bullet.
what if it doesn't take?
I ain't writing all that down on a bullet.
I'll put it in the Twitch chat so that everyone can see it. Baron Dexter Vea Ferrum the Third. What you know, what the wanted poster explains is that he's most likely to be located in the town that he settled in the middle of what is called Death Valley. And the town that he is settled in is called Lethe Springs. And I will type this because the spelling can be tricky. Lethe Springs.
Oh, I thought you said leafy.
I also heard Leafy Springs.
I
It's like,
knew
oh, that's
that
a
would be.
quaint fucking sounding town. I wonder what horrors will await us there.
Well, you know what? It's probably entirely possible that the locals know it as Leafy Springs, because Leafy is kind of that happened a lot with towns back in the day, you know? Like there I
Hey,
remember there was a place called it was founded as Bearskin, but like the town is now known today as Baskin because
um,
like people just have a tendency to like slur their words together. Not everybody was literate. You just kind of went by word of mouth, and then like time goes
real
on, everybody forgets about what it was originally called, and
quick
that's just kind of how it
question.
goes.
This town wouldn't happen to be on a river, would it?
What's on spring?
From
Well,
motherfucker
so
just Googled a word.
I also remember my Greek mythology, so
Yes, well, you should. It's from a video game. But
I
anyway,
did Google the word because I have not played that video game yet.
hmm.
you would assume that it probably is on some sort of body of water. But in fact, I think it surprises you because this is where the information that you knew and the information that you're learning
Kind
have
of
a
intersect.
intersect, because I'm pretty sure that you know it as the town of Leafy Springs, which location wise, if we're thinking about like I'm not gonna go down that road. I was gonna start like saying real world cities, and I'm like,
How many
I
days away is it?
How many days away?
That would probably give us a better.
I'm gonna say like a week at least.
That's
At
actually kind of
least a week
close.
on horseback.
No, that's still real close. Excuse me real quick. I'm just gonna. Hey, buddy. Not in my house.
Sorry
Not
for
in
bothering you.
my house.
You come
Um,
into here on the day of my familiar's quinceanera.
I'm gonna say 1 to 2 weeks on horseback is the distance that it is away. It you would know it as the place where most established railways uh intersect.
the hub, essentially.
The hub, yes. It's kind of like, all roads lead to Rome, all railways lead to Leafy Springs. But you're now learning that there was a time when this place was known as Lethe Springs.
Kid has traded out his tea for a toothbrush and is just walking around the campfire. You just hear the sound of brushing teeth as he continues to read.
The wanted poster warns you that Baron Dexter Vea Ferrum the Third, he goes by the Third to imply that he is the third generation. He is not. This is just the third time he's gone by this name.
Implying that he has died before and has come back better than ever, considering his current situation.
He's a very long-lived man. And his wealth, his riches come not from his strength per se, but his patience. He has been gathering his gold for longer than people knew its true worth. You know what I mean? Like since before law was discovered. This man's very long-lived.
He's a
And
hoarder.
yeah, a
Doomsday
hoarder.
prepper.
Sure, yeah. These are the things that are written to you in Goldtooth Joe's hand.
Now what do I know? Aside, well, there was the 19. That's what I know about him.
19. I'll give you a little bit more than just fucking Leafy Springs and like the hub of all of the trains. He has a reputation. A lot of people were kind of uncomfortable around him. The people who knew him. And currently during this time, I'm gonna say that you have like seen like the closest to Serendipity, the closest rail line that goes to Lethe Springs. It was torn up and tied into bows. Like basically all of the rails that are going into Lethe Springs have been vandalized, destroyed, made inoperable. And you were always told, don't go into Death Valley.
But we're gonna have to go into Death Valley. Audible sigh, folding up paper, water in mouth, spits off into the brushes, sits down next to the fire.
Ruth, you can return from your little venture at your leisure.
Yeah. Ruth comes back and says, "Nothing to worry about out there."
Ruthie, we're gonna have to go through Death Valley.
Like how fast? Like
Wait, there's a place called Death Valley,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's also
Hey, of
like Hell's
course.
Canyon, Death Valley,
and we're going straight there.
The Devil's Kitchen,
Hades Town.
No. way down in Hades Town.
To get there, you're gonna have to take the long way down.
all of the rails leading into Leafy Springs have been more or less sabotaged. So it's either we ride into Leafy Springs via Death Valley, or it takes several months going around.
Now, when you say Death Valley, are you speaking of a mass grave burial ground situation?
Is this an inhospitable situation, Danae? Like, nothing lives out here.
It's a big old
Or-
lake, but it's filled with salt water that nobody can drink.
I-
But it's the perfect place to set up a town.
Or is it like Death Valley because apex predators?
I
Oh, yeah.
would like an additional knowledge check of some sort to know what Death Valley is referring to.
Death Valley?
9. I've just
9.
heard stories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Honestly.
You were put to sleep with stories of fucking ghosts.
The Donner
It's-
Party.
Yeah, like it's just a big ol' lake full of dead people. Like it used to be a lake, and like everyone who ever drowned in that lake now lives in Death Valley. Ooh, and dead men tell no tale.
then how did you hear about this story?
And then as we were wandering around the town, we saw Croatoan splashed along the walls of every single alley.
Like the
That's
little fish
supernatural.
guys that go, yeah?
Yeah.
No.
Supernatural thing.
Uh,
And also an
um,
American history
And if you don't
thing.
behave yourself, those fish will eat your toes.
Oh, not my toes, Daddy!
So,
Um,
wait, hold on. Okay, so we have to go into Death Valley
I mean, we
to
don't
go
have to.
into the town that all the rails come from, but the rails have been destroyed, and we don't know if that's to keep people from going in or if it's to keep things from coming out, but that's where we're headed.
Yeah, that's the next location for our next target.
Oh,
Mr.
Good.
Baron Dexter via Ferrum the Third.
I think it sounds lovely.
Maybe.
Oh, a place called Leafy Springs, yeah, but I mean,
No,
we're up.
it's not Leafy Springs. It's Lethe, Lethe.
Leafy,
Oh.
like lethal.
Yeah, you could say that.
Lethal Springs in Death Valley.
Sounds sick.
Like
In an
where I would
alternate
att-
universe, that's how that name would have been.
That's where Burning Man
That's-
is held.
Lethal Springs.
Well, real talk, I think the word lethal came from Lethe, but we don't have to dig into there. But
What am I, an etymologist?
I like bugs.
Let me look up that entomology. Turns out entomology means the study of insects.
Oh, shit. No
Uh,
wonder all my tests have been so hard.
Usually, whenever, well, at least in my experience where I come from, whenever you call things something really scary like Death Valley or the Gray Mire or that hill over which no one should ever fucking go,
Or Jacksonville.
but
It's a
Sorry,
horrifying
Magic.
place.
Or Nights in the Courtyard.
It's
Well,
a silly place.
usually you don't go there because it's aimed at to actually keep you out because you ain't got no business there.
Yeah.
Well, is this a? I don't understand why it sounds bad. If there are a lot of souls there, is that? I mean, do other people see these souls, or are they just?
There is probably a good reason there is a number of souls there, and not of their own volition.
Well, you said they drowned when there was water there, and there's no longer
Wow.
water.
Was that said?
That was by the GM.
Oh,
Was that in jest?
I believe it was in
I
a comparison, a simile.
I missed what Triss said. What did Triss say?
yeah. I thought you said that there was like everyone who drowned there like
yeah,
their
yeah.
spirits stayed there, and that's
Um,
why.
Well,
That's
that was with a check of 9
Ah, fair.
I've only heard stories.
All
from
right.
his multitudinous dads trying to scare him into behaving.
Well,
Ew. I wouldn't say it was the perfect childhood, but I got along well.
would you like to? Shall we? I mean, we should discuss this tomorrow. First of all, first we should go to sleep. But we have the option of going or not going. Is that correct?
Well, that's true. I'm gonna flip the page. See who's next on the list. Or does it not
Okay.
do that?
It resists you looking ahead in the book, but I will let you do an Arcana check, like at a high difficulty.
DC.
Yeah, yeah. But if you can beat it,
Yeah, 21. That's probably not high
21.
enough.
Yeah, I don't think 21 makes it.
If it was like a
Um,
25, maybe.
Quick,
Quick,
because
someone, flash of
You'll
inspiration.
never know.
it kind of works like it's like a piece of paper, right? And it kind of works like a magic iPad. Like you kind of have to like enforce your will over it to show you what you want to see.
Mm.
Like an iPad. Like just
Like
a
an
normal ass
iPad.
iPad.
Just like an iPad.
A
do you have any
magic
games
iPad.
on that bounty?
Jetpack Joyride.
Oh, I love that. I love that for us.
We're in a silly mood tonight.
We're silly.
tired.
We have fun here. I miss you, Corey. Okay, who's going to bed?
I think
The two of
we-
us
we
have
have a-
been up.
Yeah.
We have a
Yeah.
second watch still,
Absolutely.
so we should resolve that.
Before Ruth goes to bed, he will tell Kid, when
Those fish are real. Sorry.
The lobsters saved us.
those toefish, they're coming for you. No, he'll say, do your best to keep a watch out. About 100, 200 yards or so that away, there was what looked like a campsite that had been freshly departed from. Saw a couple foot trails leading up to our place and then disappeared from there. Don't know by magic, don't know by what. But what I do know is that I'll be sleeping with my hand axe underneath my pillow tonight.
I'm not gonna kick your boot awake.
Smart boy. That being said, just make sure you keep your eyes open.
As Ruth turns away, Kid just waves a hand over his face. Perpetually closed,
Yep.
dude. You can't help it.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a perception check, the two of you on watch.
No.
Before we
Jake,
get
you
started,
get
I would like to set up a snare.
it? Okay.
So while I'm doing that, I'm just sort of like pacing around the brushes where we heard the twig snap and everything. And I'm just sort of like reaching out my feels for hunter prey vibes in the area.
Okay.
And I think we make contact with a sort of like the Mojave version of a manticore. Like it's a bobcat-sized mountain lion with a scorpion tail and shit.
Okay.
Almost emaciated. But we just sort of go in a like 10-foot circle around there and set up an area where people who try and sneak in and fuck our shit up have to do some stuff.
Okay. And it's specifically set up in a place where, like, if they try to sneak up on you, they're gonna be snared.
Yes.
As opposed to positioned in a place where it's in a defensive position, not an
Yes.
offensive position. Okay.
Yes.
Like you're not trying to catch somebody unawares, like outside of your camp. It's to protect you. Okay. All right. Did you give me a perception check?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, since this is the first time that we've done this, oh my God, that's a 30 on your perception. That is quite a lot. Let me read snare real quick. It takes 10 minutes to set up. It costs 25 gold pieces.
What's 41 minus 25? 16.
Was that right? I missed the first number.
41.
Minus 25. Good question. Because I have to carry a number, I can't do it.
Yeah, yes, you are correct.
Yeah, 16 is correct. It's a 2x2 square, which is 10 feet by 10 feet. When you complete the ritual, you make a nature check.
I didn't do that.
The check result is the perception DC to detect the snare, and the thievery DC to disable it. As part of the ritual, you can name creatures that can pass freely through the snare's area, and you can set conditions to allow a creature to bypass the snare. So it's kind of like a magic circle. Any other creature has to save against a attack of some sort. Okay.
Yep.
Are you setting particular creatures that are safe to pass through the snare?
Yep. Lorbeck.
Okay. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay. Your
None of
perception.
y'all go running off.
Your perception is impeccable. As you are you seated and during your watch, or are you like patrolling during your watch?
I'm moving around, yeah.
Okay. You're moving about. I'm going to say that it is a lovely, quiet night. The sky is clear, the stars are very visible. Just a blanket of astral beauty. Like we're in a time when there's not a lot of light pollution, so you can just see everything. And a great big fucking moon that gives you plenty of light to keep watch by. You hear the wind sort of whistle every now and then, and sort of superimposed over that sound of wind, you hear a sort of distant whinny of a horse. And you kind of are able to put together the fact that all of the horses that were taken into the squall, they will probably never return as what they were before. Mundane horses. They have been changed by their experience in there. And they will continue to be some form of elemental. Probably not like a big, huge fucking tornado anymore. But, a playful little gust of wind every now and then, for sure. I'm just gonna roll a dice real quick. Okay. The night passes uneventfully. Your snare is never triggered throughout the night. But the following morning, you do find footprints, sort of meandering near it, as though someone approached it and admired your handiwork. You are muted.
You're muted, sir.
You're still muted.
I'm gonna walk up to the Bobcat Manticore.
Okay.
You're lucky you're real cute. And it's just like doing the little kitten thing.
Making biscuits in the
where it's, like,
ground.
doing the little
Biscuits.
the old stretch and rolling over. Except it's got a flick of a little scorpion tail.
Oh, Rakel, is that something we need to be worried about, or
What you mean?
Manticore?
A what?
The critter next to you.
It's just a little guy.
Yeah, if you say so.
You know,
I'm just
yeah.
wondering is all. I didn't see it last night.
Oh no, it's good.
Yeah, all right. Forgetting what he said earlier, kid kicks Ruth's boot.
There is like the immediate whip of a hand axe that comes within an inch of your shin, and then he stops.
No, his poor shins.
Ruth, please.
You see anything?
No.
Pulls the hand axe back, puts it down, sits up. There are different ways that you can wake a man up that he will be plenty pleased by. Hot coffee, maybe some food.
It's on the fire.
I did not know that. I apologize for almost cutting your leg off at the knee.
Kid will head over to Tris, take a knee, and just shake her awake.
Oh, she gets a shake.
Yeah, because I'm more familiar with you.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes, as she does every morning, just open. There's no stirring. It is just awake or asleep. Good morning.
There is a Fallout 4 style text bubble above Kid's head. Kid disliked that. Good morning. We got some coffee on the fire. We've got eggs and beans, if that's your fancy. Yeah, we'll move out in an hour.
Wonderful.
Hey, Rakel, get some food.
Y'all's just looking around the brush.
Kid'll pop up next to her. Like,
Where do the tracks go?
They wander off sort of in a westerly direction. And then they go over some stone to where they don't make any more tracks, and then they're gone.
what's up?
I don't like the feeling of being hunted.
It's not a great feeling to feel.
No, you don't understand. Like where I come from, that's like the only thing. That is the thing to worry about.
So what can we do about it right now? I could just start wildly firing into the brush.
Or you could keep your eyes open.
I am trying, but my perception rolls are not going well for me. I really am trying. We'll keep an eye out. I'll be especially watchful on our way into the city.
No, like I mean that literally. Like, please open your eyes while we scout this area.
Kid opens his eyes, there is just the flood of lights and cascading thunderstorms.
Like,
I can only hold my eyes open for so long. I need to put them in their natural resting position.
Ah, it hurts. Itchy.
Begins to tear, and it's just raindrops on his face.
Oh. His eyes start raining. God. We made a silly character.
That was a choice.
God, it sure was, wasn't it? Okay. So y'all have breakfast, you have your coffee. If there's any conversations that happen around the campfire, I think we can resolve them after our break, because I think
Yeah.
we're at break time.
Sounds good. So we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see all of you guys shortly. All right, everybody, see you soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We have returned. We just got done with a long rest. There was a little manticore kitty who was super cute, just a little guy. And now we're figuring out what it is that we're doing.
We're heading back to town to tell everyone what's what.
You got it.
Sounds good to me. Y'all are heading back to town. Is there any conversation that needs to happen between the four of you before you start interacting with the rest of the town folk?
I think that. Please.
I was just going to say, so we killed the mayor and instilled a paramilitary force in the mayor's mansion who were actively hunting us for our bounties before, but are we cool? Do you think we'll be okay with them? You think they're going to be like, hey, now you're worth even more money and slightly tired?
Honestly, I think we just avoid the mayor's mansion.
Okay. So we go to
Lotus Garden.
Lotus Garden, say goodbyes, and then hit the dusty trail. Well, no, not hit the dusty trail. That guy's like super strong. We wouldn't stand a chance. We didn't last time.
I'm pretty sure I almost knocked him out with one punch.
Dostoevsky trails.
I do not recall that situation.
You were
very
unconscious.
much. Well, to each their own.
Kid,
We learned a thing or two.
what fate do you want for your town?
Fate has such a negative connotation.
Honestly, I just want to prosper.
In the more short term,
In the more short term, I think handing the town over to Lady Black would probably be the best.
Didn't she say, like, no thank you the last time we brought that up to her? Like, she actively was like, I'm not interested in owning this town or ruling.
Listen, someone needs to, run things until they get an actual lawman up there. And there are a few candidates, but Madam Black will do right by the town. They could also just solve it themselves, honestly.
Well, all right.
What? I'm not just gonna post up and say, "Hey, I'm Mayor Kid."
Well, no, because then we would be stuck here.
Yeah, we'd be stuck playing Small Business Sim for the better half of the year.
Mayor the Kid.
It has a ring to it, don't you think? All right, so Lotus Garden?
Mm-hmm.
See that big old lizard man you seemed rather sweet on.
Oh, we don't need to speak of that.
Just
Don't
straightening his little bolo, like.
A bolo would be such a good fidget. Sorry.
Oh yeah, you just
Distracted. You know what I mean? We're talking about the same thing, right? It's like a
Yes.
little drawstring type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. And I was
do
mimicking
not-
taking it off, swinging it over your head, and then putting it back on neatly.
Well, like a bola.
Yeah.
Bola bola.
Bola bola. That does sound like a weapon that a guy in One Piece would have.
It's a weapon in a Bond film, if anything, but that's entirely besides the point.
Okay, where's the Venn diagram of One Piece and Bond villains?
We should really start the show.
You're
We're gonna
so
keep
right.
talking.
You're so right. Okay. You're heading to the Lotus Garden?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You arrive. You find folks in their posted up in their normal positions. Bruno is over by the piano. You see him kind of turn around hopefully as the door opens. Trina is behind the bar. She's like cleaning it with a rag. She looks up at you as you step in.
Kid is removing his hat, walks up to the bar. You would not believe the day we've had.
Kid! And then like a number of girls just come running at you and like
It's the immediate face change of tired to shit.
yeah. Doting, peppering you with kisses and like fixing your hair and your clothes, just sort of like, yay, you didn't die.
Alright, girls, alright. So, we took care of Six Spurs, who was also apparently Sparky.
The room kind of goes quiet.
Yeah, it was
He
a
wa-
big shock to us too.
He was what?
He was Six Spurs, but like the top half of Six Spurs. Six Spurs was a centaur.
Yeah. That's why I'm so confused. Six Spurs was a centaur. Sparky was
The top
Was it-
half of a centaur.
Yeah, like he ripped his legs off, fused with a ghost horse.
huh.
Trina, I'm gonna need like a whiskey, please.
Right. She doesn't even look at you. She just like reaches over, grabs a bottle, and like starts pouring into a glass. She like isn't even looking, like it's just muscle memory. Um,
But yeah,
when you say you took care of him, you mean
yeah, we're moving on to our next bounty.
Jesus, kid, I didn't know you were that intense.
Hip, whoa, I wasn't the one. That was not me who did the killing blow.
Also, the squall.
Oh yeah, the squall, no longer a thing. Apparently the squall was tied to the bottom half of Sparky, and then when we resolved that, it released all the horses.
Oh. So the squall's gone?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, there's just huh.
a lot,
Like
right?
she like reaches over, grabs the stool, sort of sits down. Okay, so help me understand.
Okay.
Sparky was actually Six Spurs.
Uh-huh.
Half
I've
of Six
met-
Spurs.
I've met Six Spurs. He and Sparky are nothing alike.
Yeah, something about my folks killing him the first time around and him coming back not right.
Okay, new fear unlocked.
Yeah.
And this other half of Six Spurs was
The local ghost horse that was missing its head from the forest.
now
leading
the
the
squall-
stampede of the squall.
and now the squall is gone.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we had to fly a boat into it, and it took us to an ocean dimension.
Ruthie.
Huh?
I think the details might confuse her a lot more than just a simple explanation.
We had a crab boil.
We did.
Great. Okay. I wish there was a way to sit down more.
Well, that'd be laying down.
Ah.
Oh, good point.
There is a fainting couch in the room.
Anybody else want some drinks before I go have a lay down?
I
Oh,
can
yes,
make them if you
please.
want.
How about I get the first round and then you take over?
Gandu?
Trina pours a round for everybody. Triss gets water. Rakel gets her choice of beverage.
Which is water.
I didn't want to assume, but that was the direction I was headed.
Trina, did you ever restock that supply of sassafras? Or sarsaparilla, sorry.
Yeah, of course I got sarsaparilla.
Sarsaparilla.
Gotta make sure that you teetotalers are taken care of. Root beer.
Yeah, root beer. I love me some root beer.
She's gonna go and have a lay down on the fainting couch. And Bruno will approach Trisannas.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Miss Trisannas. I guess you guys are gonna be heading out soon.
It seems so, yes.
Well, I was gonna say, I was gonna ask if you didn't mind me writing to you every now and then.
She takes a moment, considers it. Well, I think that'd be quite nice.
That's great. I wanted to get your answer first. I have considered the fact that we don't have a postal service. But Trina seems like she wants to start up the parcel ponies again. And well, there used to be a group before the parcel ponies that my family was a part of, the Bangle Tales,
Interesting.
and they ran messages. So I figured maybe I could run messages and then I could bring letters to you.
I see. A self-delivery service.
Right. So if you would like that, I would also like to do that.
Yes, I think that would be quite lovely.
Great. I actually have a letter for you now, if you'd like.
Well, that is lovely. Is it something that I should wait to open until later, or is it something you would like me to read now?
Your preference.
Thank you. I think I shall save it for when we have departed.
He just sort of like tips his hat.
Takes the letter and puts it in her satchel. Would you like to sit for a moment?
If you wouldn't mind.
Please.
Kid, the usual.
Pour Bruno like a, I guess it'd be like a blah 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 mixed whiskey drink.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds
That sounds sweet. Yeah, he sits and has polite conversation with Triss.
Mhm. It's hot.
Kid is off to the side, chuckling a little bit over two mugs of sarsaparilla. Because if you put 2 root beers together, it turns into beer.
That's a math pun, guys.
It's a math
pun.
joke. I'm smart. Laugh.
Mhm.
Damn
Oh, I
you.
see. It's
I would laugh,
It's-
but I'm terrible at math.
Is it like root beer squared?
Because
The
we'll get
root of
into it.
beer.
in a
Perhaps if you
root
multiply,
of
but
beer,
you just
okay.
added, you have 2 roots.
What is 1 times 1
Sucks
but
and you
1?
suck. All right.
Okay.
Triss sits there in polite conversation, and it's hot as hell.
Mm-hmm. Trina is laying on the fainting couch, and Kid goes walking by. She kind of flags him down.
Oh,
Hey,
we're gonna
Kid,
do
come
you
over here.
4. Yep.
Okay, so I think I've got it all straight now. Sparky's really gone, huh?
Yeah, I believe his last words were, "Oh no, this feels different. I'm not coming back."
Jeez, okay, that's dark.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dark.
uh, gonna log that away for the old nightmares.
We should
Um,
really get like a therapist here in Serendipity, like a licensed one.
I think Madam Black is the closest thing we have so far.
Nah, but then that's just trauma dumping.
Okay, so, but wait. You guys didn't happen to take out one of Dusty's devils, did you?
No, not that I recall.
Really?
Yeah, we were
Because
mostly just fighting some crabs, some fish woman.
they took over Hall's mansion yesterday, and they either killed or drove out all the lawmen that were in there. And they came by here and asked us if we had seen one of them, because one of them's gone missing.
Maybe I'll mosey up to the mayor's house and see what that's about.
Okay.
I don't want them chasing us down under a misunderstanding.
I mean, at this point, if you took down Six Spurs, you could probably take on Dusty and his guys.
Yeah, but do I want to, though?
Jacket.
I think I could take about 10 of them.
In a fight, right?
Oh, what?
In a fight?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tris, can I... sorry. Trina, can I pick your brain about something?
Shoot.
What?
She stands up and offers you the fainting couch to lay on.
He'll lay down.
She pulls up a chair and, like, takes a seat like a therapist.
So we need to get into Leafy Springs.
Going down to Leafy, huh?
Yeah, but from what I remember, all of the train tracks are all but borked.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like passing through a place called Death Valley.
One of my last runs was through Death Valley. You don't want to go down there.
Oh,
The
no,
air, the air is poison.
yeah. Excuse me?
Well, not like gonna hurt you, gonna kill you kind of poison, but like
Is it like
you
happy mushroom kind of poison?
you wish. No, it's more like the closer you get to death, the less it wants to let go of you kind of poison.
Swamp of Sorrows from Neverending Story.
Yeah, maybe. I got hurt real bad down there, and I was not healing right.
Great. Do you know of any like alternative routes?
Well, Death Valley is a valley. And from what I found, the death fog sort of cooled at the bottom. So if you can find high ground, you should be fine. But Lethe Springs is right at the bottom of it, so I don't know what you want with that area.
How are they surviving in the death fog? Is there like some sort of fucking barrier over the thing?
What makes you think that people are living down there?
It is a hub station.
It used to be a hub station. Now all of the rails are pulled up, and no parcel ponies have been down in Lethe Springs since before my time. I went through Death Valley. I didn't go to Lethe Springs. I don't have a death wish.
Great. Cool. Amazing. Maybe we can find some sort of protections on the road. It's about a week or two out, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anybody who's been there.
Great. Lovely, great, fun, great, lovely fun. Thank you, Trina.
Oh,
Honestly.
thanks. I know you'd be lost without me. She just ruffles your hair.
Eh. Probably
I'm
less
thinking,
lost with a broken compass.
I'm thinking about changing the names. The name, like the parcel concordant. I reckon not all of us are going to be on horses, so the parcel ponies is kind of reductive. We should come up with something else.
The United Ramble Postal Service.
All right, time to write that down.
No, please
like-
don't.
The
Pulls
herbs.
The herbs.
The herbs. I love it. I'm writing that down.
The
You can never
herbs.
escape it now. United
No.
Ramble. She's literally like she's got like a little notepad for taking orders and stuff like that. She pulls a pencil out from behind
This
one
is
of the
not the
wings on the side
legacy
of
I
her head.
wish to leave behind.
Well, I guess that just means that you can't die while you're down in Death Valley, or else that'll be the last thing of substance you've ever contributed to the world.
It's like saying, no, that's. Man, he'll stand up.
Okay. I think that Madam Black will make an appearance.
Courteous bow.
Ruth takes off his hat. Just like, oh god.
It's the lady who can kill you if you kill her.
I take it that you will be making your leave soon.
Shortly, yeah. Again, thank you for housing us during our time here.
Of course. You're always welcome and safe here.
You all have the town under control, right? Until, like, some actual lawmen show up around here?
Kid, serendipity has never been my domain. That has been the Lotus Garden.
God, it don't feel right at all. Alright. I'll be right back. Kid leaves, pulls out a cigarette, starts smoking on his way to the mayor's manor.
Okay. You're going
Everyone
to-
watches him leave. And we're like, look at each other. If you'll excuse me. Gets up to follow.
God damn,
Yeah,
Russia.
Ruth will join.
Town that I love and the people that I care about. God damn it.
We're gonna die.
Hopefully not today. And she pats Rakel's shoulder.
Okay. You're meandering your way up to Hall Mansion.
When he gets onto the street of Hall Mansion, he places two fingers in his mouth and just whistles down the long road to alert everyone in the mansion that he is coming.
Oh, Christ. Ruth is just like crafting dynamite in the background. Just like, here we go again.
You see like a couple of guys like up on the roof of Hall Mansion like perk their heads up and they pull out like two fans like this and then they like propel themselves into the air with these fans and then like
Oh, the airbenders.
come down spread them wide and then glide down to a stop in front of like not like in front of you but like on a rooftop next to you.
Flicks hat upward to look at them. I need to see your boss.
They kind of look at each other and you can hear them muttering. And one of them goes, "What about?"
One, we don't know anything about your missing compadre. Two, I want to make sure that he does right by this town.
I don't know if I believe him. Do you believe him? I don't know. Maybe I believe him. He's cute. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's go. Stay right there.
Ruth will pat Kid's side.
Are they meaning the guy that we sent to go and watch over Glimmer?
Nah, I think he was one of the other lawmen. Or wait,
Remember the first day that we all met, and there was a gentleman and a bunch of people in the tavern we were in.
oh yeah,
We killed them.
that was a totally separate
No.
gang.
Those were lawmen.
Those were lawmen.
Those were lawmen. Those worked for Sheriff Hawthorne. This is Dusty saying what happened to one of my gang. Wasn't that one of the guys that we sent to the...
You guys are thinking of two different people.
Yeah, it's two different
okay.
people.
That's long.
LB is referring to the very first fight where
Toadman.
the three of you met.
Ow.
Yeah.
That
different-
was a totally different gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hawthorne and Thorny Toad Jim are two different guys.
Right. Do we know who the person they're talking about is? Did we speak to
We'll
that
get a
person?
name.
Okay.
The door flies open, and two of those big burly guys with that kind of like club-shaped fan, they come out, and sort of swaggering, with his hand in his pocket, a cigarette in his mouth, Dostoevsky, comes walking down, the path up to Hall Manor. And he stops a kind of healthy distance away from you. Right about like shootout distance. And he calls over. What do you want, kid?
We don't know nothing about nobody missing from your party, but you got a name?
Gale?
Nah. Sent some lawman back to Glimmer, though.
I don't care about what's going on in Glimmer. Serendipity's my town now.
Cool.
When you go missing?
Yesterday? It was yesterday, right? And they all
We
conversed,
were
yes.
in a tornado yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna ask for a group diplomacy check. Just everybody roll diplomacy.
Do we get advantage because the tornado's gone?
It got progressively...
Worse.
It got a little bit better at
It
the
got
end
a little
there.
bit better at the end, yeah. Well, the rolls kind of,
Wait.
like...
I'm
When
going
he go
to
missing,
use-
Rakel says, as if she absolutely knows something.
Mhm.
Okay. Dusty kind of screws up his face a little bit. He looks back and forth at his two bodyguard type guys. And he starts walking over to get closer to you.
Dusty watches as Kid just unbuckles his gun holster and just carefully puts it on the ground.
He doesn't even look at that. But you get the idea that like he's trying to like evoke, confidence.
So, this Gale fella, or person, descriptor, maybe we'll catch him out on the road if we do.
Sure thing. He kind of like snaps his fingers, and one of his guys steps up. He pulls the hat off of that guy.
Is there a picture underneath the hat? That's so sweet and sad.
No, that would be very funny though, wouldn't it?
He rips the heart-shaped locket off of the other guy and flips it over.
It's various paraphernalia from everyone. That's just lockets and pictures of Gale.
Wallets like flipped
A
open. We
mug
love
that
Gale.
says #1 dad and it has his picture with a newborn.
Gale is our most beloved party member.
He's our mascot.
No, he points at the guy next to him and he says, "This is Gale's twin."
Does it look familiar?
Scrutinize, scrutinize, scrutinize.
Not really. No. RJustice, sort of kind of a beard down here, curly hair, gray.
Nah, sorry, don't recognize you.
You can see Dusty is scrutinizing you as you say that.
Okay. So, question: who did Dusty get shot last night?
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne, who
Okay,
was
actually Hawthorne. Okay.
yes, the deputy of Sheriff Hall.
Man's got executed. But well,
And then he kind of squints at Kid and he says, "You didn't see Deputy Hawthorne, did you?"
No, sorry, can't say that I did.
He's
I
a
know
slippery
that.
bastard. He got away.
I know he came running up over here, informing everyone of our presence. That's about it. But
Yeah.
we'll keep a lookout for Gale. Could you just and we'll send word if we do pick him up. I know it's not much, but he'll reach into his back pocket and hand Dusty a folded piece of parchment.
Okay.
These are all the locations that the Wandering Sun uses hideouts out here in the Ramble. Maybe there's something that they haven't picked up or haven't squirreled away that you could use.
He kind of like looks down at that list, and he looks up at you. You know, a lot of us grew up on stories of the Wayward Sons.
I did too. They were bastards right up until the end. I know that much for sure. But they were my bastards.
That's good to hear. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for your loss.
That means a lot. Thank you.
What means more is the fact that we will hunt you down and kill you if you're lying to us.
See, now that discourages me from actually lying to you because I do not want that. It's a big ask between strangers, but I was hoping you'd do right by this town. It's a place the Wayward Sons and I called home, and we love this place very dearly.
It's a nice place. I see why they settled down here. Not really interested in seeing it going the way that it did when Hall was in charge.
Gods, no, I think you do a hell of a better job, honestly.
Aw, that's sweet.
Yeah, don't let it go to your head.
I always thought I had what it takes for leadership.
A few ground rules. You might own this town, but you do not own the Lotus Garden.
Oh, trust me. I know better than to mess with Madam Black.
Alright. Y'all wouldn't happen to know a way to get into Leith without having to go through Death Valley, would you?
Lethe Springs?
Lethe Springs.
Smack dab in the middle of Death Valley?
Yep.
It would take a lawmaker a lot stronger than me to figure out that.
It's fucking...
And hey, if you come back alive, call us up.
I might have an idea. It's a bad
Glad
idea.
I could help.
But it's a bad idea. Thank you, Dusty. And be seeing you.
Yeah. Don't get too sentimental.
As Kid turns his back, he will summon his gun belt to his hand and then just put it around his waist. It was a formality at best.
Yeah. I think we all know that.
To the party. Well,
You see Dusty go back to Hall Manor, and he starts like shouting out orders to the rest of his posse. It seems that he's already working on remodeling.
that's a good thing they're remodeling the place. Didn't really fit in with the rustic aesthetic around here. LB gets it.
I understood that reference. Anyways, well, what was your brilliant idea about going to the Death Valley?
Well, it's a valley, so it means that there are sides. We can go along the sides and then just...
Don't
Right
we have
in.
to go to the close to like a middle point?
No, the very bottom.
That's not the better that you think it is. Okay.
Well,
Death
perhaps
Valley
we
is
can
really big.
create some protection for ourselves.
We get a long hose, and a series of barrels. And we have the hose where the air isn't poison, and then we connect it to the top of the barrel, and then we walk into it, and then we'll be...
Not everything can be solved with barrels, Ruth.
God, you're just not thinking with barrel thoughts.
Listen, we just gotta find enough Korok seeds to improve our stamina so we can glide.
Okay, but you might be onto something.
Korok seeds don't improve your stamina, they improve your inventory space.
Now,
The trials thing. Yeah, I forget what they're
if
called.
there was a launcher of sorts, and we had gliders? We could glide over it. Is that
What
a
if
thing?
we had a filtration system? You can filter water just fine. You can filter the air.
Need a hell of a lot of trees.
Well, perhaps we can streamline it with magic.
True. One magical air pump. Probably clear it out by next year.
I meant something that we could wear.
Oh, like a mask that filters out gaseous things.
Correct.
What? Deep dive? Scuba? What the hell was Cook talking about?
Is that
Would you like me to ask him?
like an incredibly long snorkel?
Something about a diving bell?
Wait, okay, I think we're putting the cart before the horse on this. And I am
No.
usually very down for carts and horses and their various arrangements. That being said, I think that the biggest problem we'll face is getting to the place that's filled with poison, because it sounds, what it sounds like, not many things live in the place that's filled with poison.
DM,
Yes.
do I know of any towns around that area that we could probably stop in for a refuel?
Plain
You could
town.
you could probably try stopping there. But it has been mentioned that this is about as far west as anyone has been. Like the squall kind of created a natural barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that people didn't really want to cross. So if there are people here, they're going to be people who haven't seen other people since the
In a
squall.
while.
Yeah.
Oh, Ariana Grande, we're in it now. Watch The Good Place. It's a great show.
We
It's a
could
really
try
good.
defying gravity, now that you mention it.
That does sound pretty wicked.
Hmm.
Ba-dum-bum.
It's better if you don't point it out, kid.
Oh, that was RJ doing that.
No.
And she came down in a bubble.
Grow up.
Oh, witch.
Maybe.
Well, I think we should get there and see what it is before we make any final decisions.
Right.
Because we all know as soon as we get there, we're going to throw whatever plan we had out the window and then
And
form
do
a new
something.
plan.
Miss Rakel, did you have any input?
No. No,
What?
I don't. Sorry.
All right. Was that LB?
You got
I
picked
asked
up
what
the
was going
CC,
on.
Yeah.
Ah, what's going on?
Where are we at?
Heading
Away
back to
from the
Lotus?
manor, I would assume.
Yeah, we're
Mhm.
heading back to the Lotus Garden.
I don't know how much I'm going to be able to talk about because the last thing that I was left with was somebody saying, shh, and I don't know how seriously I should take that
When was this?
What's that?
last night.
One of us.
Hawthorne got executed.
I'm sorry, what?
How do you know that?
I saw it.
In a vision? Or
No,
was he
I
very
saw it.
close to us? I see. Raquel, do you think your connection to the spirits is what drew you to this?
I'm not as connected to the spirits here. I've never experienced anything like that back home.
What exactly, where exactly was this? Because you didn't leave our camp, right?
I think so.
So your mind was transported elsewhere, or perhaps your spirit. But for what purpose would they show you that? Did you see who did it?
What did it look like?
Is that who shushed you?
Yep.
What did it look like?
Which is a great title for a James Bond movie.
The one who shushed you?
The guy who shushed you.
It's Mads Mikkelsen just going.
Did you say something, Simon?
Yeah.
What did it look like?
It was it was a person in a poncho.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll give you an extra bit of I'll give you some extra information. They had a bandana wrapped around their face. And sort of painted on the bandana itself was like the lower half of a skull.
That just could be anyone.
Anything else striking about it?
I mean, they hid their face, they wore a poncho, and they told me, shh. So
Nah, well,
that's
You
really it.
also distinctly remember the words that they said when they dusted Hawthorne.
And then something about Google Gobble.
I actually, what I should say is that you didn't recognize the language, so the words don't mean much to you, but it had a tune to it. So you can hum the tune for them.
Sure.
Ruth and Triss, you recognize this song.
Minor song.
It's the Prospector's Lament.
Ruth. I have a final question before we process that. Raquel, you said this being acknowledged you
Mm-hmm.
specifically.
Yeah, and they told
So,
me shush, like I probably shouldn't be saying all this to y'all, so
well,
keep it a secret.
understood. I find it interesting if you had been seeing a vision or been shown something by the spirits that you could be observed in that sort of state.
I mean, I've seen this guy before. He's been hunting us.
What?
I'm sorry?
He's been stalking us
What?
like a predator, like a bear.
Like a white ponchoed bear.
I never said the color of his poncho.
Oh, like a
it is law
ponchoed
now.
bear.
Sure, he's got a white poncho. No, let's make it black. Like black makes
A
most
black
sense.
poncho with a skull mask? This guy's fucking awesome. I love it. Knew
Oh,
I was
it's
seeing
Just
this
death from Puss in Boots.
How long has he been following
It
us?
whistles a death march for you as you die.
How
Did he
long has
not?
You're not wrong. That is pretty much what happened.
Chris has a question.
How long has he been following us, Raquel?
At least a day.
All right. Okay. Well, perhaps we should find out his intentions. Wait, if he's been following us, that means that he was attacked close to us. Hawthorne was.
Yes.
I mean, I see.
Were they at, what could you tell? Was there a fire near them? A little campfire, maybe.
Yes? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Curious. Well, looks like we'll be stepping light, I suppose.
Why, Ruth?
'Cause that twig snapping sound, I went to investigate it. And not too far from where we were, there was what looked like a little camp that had been recently vacated. There was an imprint of a man in the dirt, but the man was gone, and there was thick with that gold smell.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, putting the pieces all together. This dude, whoever he is, absolutely did execute someone who we had a problem with, and could very well have killed us if he had the chance, or if he wanted to, because he definitely had the chance.
Right. Why was Hawthorne so close to us?
Mm.
Well, it sounded like Hawthorne was running away, and who knows?
Just ended
maybe...
up in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well,
Speaking of, Kid will call over one of the RJustices. By the
Lance.
way, Hawthorne's dead.
Fuck would you tell him that?
Why not?
yeah, because we were told to keep secret about it. Raquel was.
Remember how the skull mask man was like, shh, don't tell anyone.
You can retract that if you want.
Thank you. Yes, I did not put the two together.
We'll say as soon as kid was like raising their hand, we're all like, shut the fuck up now, God.
Like
We
I imagine
walked
you
far
can.
away.
I can imagine you like flagged them down. They started heading towards you, and then you guys said, "Shut the fuck up!"
And then Kid changes it to like a wave goodbye.
Like bye. It just sort of like confused, sort of like turns around midair and starts gliding back.
Me.
Blushies.
Now,
Goes faster.
I suppose this is my final question, Miss Raquel. What sense did you get from this being? Did you feel fear of it, or what did you feel in the moment?
The moment after I certainly felt a little violated, like a predator, like something stalking us, hunting us. I didn't like that.
Mm.
In the moment, kind of depressed. Not gonna lie.
Well, perhaps this being, if they are killing those who we want killed, is not necessarily our enemy. If they could have come into our camp and killed us in the night, or at least ambushed us. But perhaps it's best if we stay together and not go out by ourselves, Mr. Ruth.
Loud and clear.
What did you
I
say?
said loud and clear.
I just heard that.
Yeah, he is an older man. There's a possibility that he
Just
just
making
made...
dad sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I suppose we should gather our things and start heading out unless there's something else. Does anyone else have any things they'd like to share with the group?
Oh,
Not that
what?
I can think of.
What? Rakel, do you feel this is subject has been covered to the extent that you'd like it to be?
Yeah.
If and when you're ready to talk more about it, please open up. We are here for you. And we will protect you. And more back.
So, Death Valley.
Yeah.
I still think it sounds lovely. I don't.
I mean, if you're into Death Fog, I guess.
I
Perhaps
think
there are spirits there that could tell us the way through.
I'm just gonna put this out there. I think that you are confusing what us of the regular humanoid variety consider Death Valley as like a bad place, and not if they died peacefully in such a place that they would be amenable to conversations, it would be called like Restful Gully. Take a snooze canyon. But Death Valley is a bad place.
Wait, the ones that you talk to, they how do they know more than what they left this world with?
Many times, yes. They can observe the world around them, though they cannot interact with it most times.
I don't
So
know if
sorry,
I
I
want to rely
wandered
on
off.
the experience of a lot of people that died in Death Valley on how to not die in Death Valley.
A good
I'm so sorry
thing.
I wandered off there.
That's all right.
I
ADHD?
heard something weird, and then I realized that it was cats yowling outside, and then I had to go do a head count and make sure that all the cats were inside.
Understandable. We were just talking about what Death Valley actually means. Rakel asked what ghosts are like. And then yeah. So no, they would be very helpful, especially if they've not passed in a peaceful manner, as you say. Those are the ones that stick around. There are spirits all around us quite often.
You
I
know what?
understand that, but I the advice that I would like to take from my ancestors are the ones who survived at least a little bit longer than the thing that I'm trying to go through.
That is fair, but they can give a different perspective. They can.
They can tell us
Failure
what
is
not to do.
right. A failure is a step forward, and well, if we need to observe further into a space and we don't want to go in ourselves, having a spirit who cannot die again to go through that would be beneficial for us as well. They have many uses.
Life has many doors, Ed boy.
Who said that?
Just a rip in the space-time continuum closes. Do not look
Ooh,
at the son of a shepherd.
Diamond.
Hey, Tris. You want to make an insight check?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. 28.
Raquel is trying to compose her face after after the words, they have many uses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She thinks about it for a moment. I understand. Triss also understands. But you don't understand. Not the way she understands. It's all right, Raquel. We'll see when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Are we gonna like rustle up all our horses? Are we going on horseback? Are we going
Yeah.
on foot? What is
Horseback.
our
It's 2 weeks on horseback.
What's our travel plans, fellas?
I'm getting
Probably-
back on Hote, my donkey.
Yeah. Hote the donkey.
I should name my
I-
horse.
If-
Synonym.
I tried to name my horse, but it got rejected. My horse's name is Chan. Bang Chan.
Okay.
Chandler Bing.
A horse. Yes.
I have a horse with no name.
You son of a
America.
bitch.
That's adorable for you. Okay.
One
I
last
would-
thing before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
If there's nothing between now and getting to like the staging area of everyone saying goodbye,
Mm-hmm.
Kid will ask if to Triss if Cook is around.
Is he?
Give me a nature check.
23.
The sound of something rustling in a pan. A dinner bell. Well, I
Yes,
was just
Abbott.
getting packed up and getting ready to go.
Are you intended to come with us? Or are you moving on?
Well, moving on in a physical sense, not necessarily in a cosmic sense.
Yes, Cook is here.
He will turn to face the opposite of where Cook is standing. Hey, Cook. So we took care of everything here. I hope that you can move on without any regrets. But if you're planning to stick around for a while longer, I just want to say that I'll be back.
Well, seems that you didn't do too bad a job out here.
He's proud of you.
No, you're editorializing a little, but I understand. Well, perhaps our paths will cross again one day. But for now, you see him like literally like pick up a couple of like suitcases. I'm
Hobo
going into
gang.
retirement.
Cook says that he is going into retirement and he will hopefully run into you soon when
What
you
do-
return.
Ghosts even do during retirement, like ghost shuffleboard, ghost bird
Ye-
watching, ghost
Ooh, I
stamp
hope so.
collecting.
All of that sounds fantastic.
It all sounds good to him.
Ghost mojitos.
Ghost hatos.
Tell him to take it easy on the salt.
He says take it easy on the salt.
No, but that's the thing that pisses him off the most. All right, I'll ease up on the salt.
Now maybe I can finally move on.
Bacon, salt, butter, bacon, salt,
Slice
butter.
Slice him to the light.
He gets sucked off.
Phrasing.
Is it? That's from a show. Is there anything else you'd want to say, Mr. Cook?
So much. But I know him. He needs to learn it himself.
He loves you very much.
He just called me dumb, didn't he?
Not in so many words.
He's
Kid
gonna do all right.
swipes at the air, but there's nothing there because he's not facing Cook.
I'll take care of him, Mr. Cook.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh, maybe I'll see you again one day too.
Well, I sure hope so.
And then he kind of like steps back, like he expects to phase away mystically, and then he just sort of like looks around, shrugs, and starts walking.
There he goes.
I think I got some dust in my eye. Hitches his horse, gets on top.
I'll imagine that y'all are out in front of the Lotus Garden, and everyone inside comes out to say goodbye, except for Madame Black, who stands ominously in the doorframe.
I like her. I think when Triss leaves, she will give a hand to Bruno.
He will take it gingerly and kiss it.
Tips her head and moves off.
When you
As he
turn around, Ruth is just.
as
She
you
pops
leave,
a fan out of nowhere, just like
you can hear Trina like giving him shit, like elbowing him in the ribs. Okay. Y'all get ready to head out. I would like a round of checks. I want to check from each one of you to kind of determine how these 2 weeks of travel go. Let me pull up the skill list and determine what would be the best ones to offer you. I'm going to give you a number of skills that you can use. And you, if I don't say a skill that you're banking on, give me your best pitch. And
Kind reminder, Ruth, do not roll endurance.
I wasn't looking at that one.
I will allow nature. I will allow endurance. I will allow streetwise.
Ooh.
Endurance, you say?
If you'd like.
Might I roll an insight to keep track of where we're going, like changes in weather condition, choosing the optimal path to get there?
I think that would be more of a nature check. Insight is more your ability to read people.
Well, endurance is a 5. You might as well go for that.
It's not horrible.
It's not horrible. All right, I'm choosing roll endurance.
All right. Any other pitches for me? Everybody
Boy,
chosen
we're out in
your-
nature. I'd love to roll nature.
Okay. Y'all are allowed to double up. It's okay. You don't have to all roll different ones. This is like a
Yeah, sure.
Oh, hey, Triss. You are one with the trees.
I am a tree.
I've done mediocrely.
I am a tree. All right, lose a healing surge, kid.
Ow.
24 on the endurance.
Why are you bluffing?
Did I hit bluff?
You did
I'm
hit bluff.
sorry.
That's okay.
That's a totally
Yo!
different skill. 15.
15. It's still not. No, that's still not
That's
good enough. Kid, this trip is it is particularly mentally and physically taxing for you. You just kind of have to always be on your game, to the point where it wears you out a little. So you will start with one less healing surge.
Kid actually has cracks in his eyes and a little bit of thunder's peeling out, but it's like just the major eye strain right now because he's keeping watch for the man in the poncho, person in the poncho.
Just head's on a swivel. Um, yeah. I I'd like to go through everybody and hear like what their describe your skill check and how it contributes to the travel. Yeah, let me describe a little bit of the terrain that you deal with. Um, you are mostly traveling overland. You eventually find some old roads, but they're quite overgrown. They haven't been tread on in quite some time. So like they're overgrown. And like you can tell that there has been wear and tear over the years. This is an area that evidently frequently floods. So there are areas where the road has just been completely washed out. Um, and there's quite a bit of wildlife that you have to avoid. So yeah, let's go through everybody and see how they're contributing. Um, Kid has already said that he's got his head on a swivel for the person in black.
I think at some points the party actually does have to force Kid to like slow down, and that's why his endurance is so bad. It's just go, go, go the entire time.
Mm-hmm. How is Ruth contributing to the travel?
So Ruth used endurance as the skill. So whereas Kid is trying very hard to like push forward and go as fast as they can while keeping an eye out for the rider or whomever this ponchoed individual is. But Ruth has made treks like this before. He knows that you can't burn yourself out on the first few days and then spend the rest of the time just being miserable. So I think Ruth is doing is spending a lot of time like wrangling Kid in, but also like keeping helping the group keep up the pace by making sure that they have like the food and the rations and other things prepared for the next day. Even at the end of the day, if everyone's just like, I don't want to do anything, he's like, well, make sure that we have lunches.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like Ruth. Eventually you guys do find a town. It is completely abandoned. There's nobody here. It looks like people used to live here. But it has been cleared out a long time ago. And this is right about the area where the first railroad ties began. How is Triss contributing to the travel?
Triss is observing the environment to determine what, like, to get about, like, the desert is the desert, but there are subtleties to it, and finding the right path and keeping us away from certain foliage is both flora and fauna that is bad for us is probably for the best. She observes a jumping cactus for the first time, and it's gonna keep us away from those. She finds them fascinating. She started to like journal everything, all these little things that they're finding out there.
All right. You find yourselves beginning to it, it is a very gradual change. But you can tell that you're kind of always going a little bit downhill. Um, yeah. Um, you believe that you're probably beginning to enter the valley. Rakel, how do you contribute to the travel?
This whole time, Raquel is thinking back to some of the first times that Chief took her out scouting. Um, the things to look out for things that are hunting you. Um, uh, what impacts they would have on the environment, the ways to avoid them, the signs that they leave. And she is just trying to check all of those boxes, and keep a lookout for not only the things that are the punch-out individual that was stalking them, but also what other things could be in this area that
would
could be
potentially
doing them
be
harm.
that would potentially be a threat. Okay. Um, it's about this time where you begin to notice a sort of fuzz on the horizon. It's almost like a storm, when you approach like a strong downfall, of rain. Um, it's not quite that because there is no liquid in the atmosphere. There's just a haze. Like you can look forward and see that haze on the horizon, and then turn around and notice that it's not there. You are slowly descending into darkness. Um, and it's one of those days where you are crossing what appears to be some abandoned farmlands. Just these tall stalks of desiccated corn that have been long abandoned, overgrown long ago, and then left to rot on the stalks. Um, as you're walking through this field, I guess you guys are on horses here. There comes a point where like there's kind of a small clearing in the middle of the field, and one of your horses comes in contact with something wooden on the ground. And you look down, and it appears to be like almost like a billboard-sized sign, made out of much newer material than anything around you. And it like if it were standing up, it's like laying on the ground right here. If it were standing up, it would easily clear over the stalks. And it says construction in progress. Or no, hold on. It says demolition zone, constructs at work, keep off the grass.
Call what now?
And it's at that moment that like what appeared to be a windmill, a defunct windmill before, these beams of light appear at the yeah, like bomb appear at the top of it, revealing the jagged smile of an enormous jack-o'-lantern. And it sort of rears up. It is blown into the sky by a gout of flame, and then it begins to descend on you. And when we come back next time, we'll be rolling initiative.
Okay, so we're getting attacked by a giant windmill. Ruth, get your horse ready.
Oh, we were born ready.
Can I quickly magic up a lance for Ruth?
Get him, Hote! Go!
Yeah! Giants. But that is our game. Wings, thank you so much for running. This was incredible. I am I'm scared to fight robot windmills next time. This is going to be a great game. This is always a great game whenever these folks are on the channel. Wings, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh, hey, that's me. I'm Wings. Also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. That's where you can find me. Otherwise, I'll be here running this game, which I love. And I love these players. So go find my art at DanaeKeener.com.
Hey everybody, it's me, RJ, Crit Award nominee.
What?
It's for a one shot that I played and called Anarchy Goats. Voting is ending this week, so go and check out Anarchy Goats and vote for us. Pretty please. It'd be really swell to win an award. Other than that, you can catch me in all the other places I normally met. Here, the Hot Goblins and GGK for some good game fun. DonateKeener.com.
Hello, everybody. I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at Hack Recklessly on the Twitch and the YouTubes where we stream. The next time we'll be live is on Wednesday. We're doing a one-shot. RJ's going to be there. We're doing Monster of the Week with some friends of the channel and friends of my personal self. All friends of my personal self. But it's going to be set in 1996 in Arkansas. And it's gonna be a hell of a good time. So yeah, join us for that at 8 p.m. And we're gonna start on time because we never start on time on Wednesdays because I'm on Ted's channel on Wednesdays. So either 8 or 8:30. I have to ask the group, but we will be on time once it's announced. DonateKeener.com.
Boy, I'm Cyber. I'm here. I will also be starting later this month on High Shelf Collective, in a game whose system I don't remember and whose DM and other players I also don't remember. I checked their socials because I don't know them and I'm not on their socials either. And then so that'll start on Fridays on High Shelf starting on the 19th. And then at the end of the month, starting on Sundays, Simon's got a thing to announce.
Yeah. If you've made it this
That's
far,
me.
if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and hopefully, fingers crossed, at the end of the month on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be doing a campaign of Planescape. I always want to say Plane Chase because that was the Magic the Gathering like side game that they didn't really make a whole lot of like a decade ago, but it's always the tip of my tongue. Planescape. It is going to be a wonderful time. Cyber's gonna be there. Kylan's gonna be there. Danae's gonna be there. Dingo's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be a fantastic time. We're probably gonna die a lot. So be sure to check that out because glitch characters are going to be fun. But that is going to be it for tonight's show. So we are going to be headed off to our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So before we go, I'd like to say one last time, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to Danae for running this absolutely fantastic game. And thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!